All right, let's do it. All right, hey guys, it's Jonathan here. We're at Tales of Scales, of course. We're doing another fish unboxing. I know it's been a while. We haven't been making many videos lately, but we're trying to kind of get back on track here, and we're starting with a pretty good one. So we got two different shipments here today. We're mostly going to focus on the fish, but I might show some of the plants as well. It's a pretty basic plant order. It's from Florida, so a lot of your typical swords, anubias, and stem plants, but we do get some nice mats and some nice bulb plants from there as well. As far as the fish go, it's kind of a mixed bag, but it's heavy on the catfish side. Lots of plecos, including some cool ones, maybe ones we haven't seen in a while. So we're going to get started on that, and we'll kind of go through what we got in the box here today. A little dark here right now. It's still early in the morning. I'm here by myself right now, so some of the lights haven't fired on yet, but we'll see what we can, hopefully we can still see some stuff. Okay, so starting up first here, we have some black coolie loaches. Really good size ones. We usually transship these guys and get them a bit cheaper, but we were in need of them, and they're not always offered at this size, so it's a nice size to get them at. Great schooling, social fish. Hangs out at the bottom of the tank. You do better if you get like 6 or more of them. You can work well in pretty much any community tank as well. We got a couple rainbows as well. I'm sure some of you know that I am a huge fan of rainbows, so we always have a good variety in the store. So some nice size Meltonea trifasciata goiter river locality. So this is the location that's going to get a lot of really nice reds in the fins bleeding into the body. You get a black lateral line there, and then you'll see some faint streaks of blue and orange in there as well. These guys are already a good size, so I guarantee they're going to start coloring up pretty much right away when we put them in the tank. Going back to some catfish here now. We got your classic Raphael cats. So these are the striped Raphaels. Guys make sound when they're out of the water. They make like this croaking sound, which is pretty funny to hear. And okay, we got one of the first plecos here today. Can't really read that one on the label. I think this is a newer one. So this does not have an L number. It is an Ancestris type. So it's Ancestris demeseni from Rio Tocatins. I don't know much about these guys, but I often try to bring in different Ancestris species because they're a breedable pleco. Usually, most of the time, a lot easier than some of the other L numbers anyway. So a lot of the breeders are often interested in seeing new Ancestris. So we'll settle those guys in the tank and see what they look like. And what else do we have here? One other rainbow in this order today. So these are the Meltonea garylangi. Little guys right now. And this is going to be a fish that's going to get a lot of orange in its body. Orange and yellow are kind of the main colors of this one, but it's a beautiful fish. Obviously named after Gary Lang. Who was up here visiting us not too long ago, actually. Here's a monster for you guys. Sticking with that catfish theme. Rhinodorus Gallagher. This guy's a lot bigger than I thought he'd be. So I think 3 of these boxes, 1 of the small boxes and 2 of the larger boxes, are the ones that the fish are actually in, and the rest are plants. So in this box again, I'm doing this by myself, so bear with me here. I don't have a second set of hands to hold the camera. I'm trying to do this in the morning when it's quiet and we actually have time before it gets crazy during the day. Okay, it looks like there's lots of stuff in here. This is one we haven't had in a while. So these are bumblebee catfish. Not gobies, but the actual South American catfish. So, cute little social catfish. Again, that's a good one for a lot of those community tanks. 332. Oh, these are the what are they called? We call them the green chubby plecos. So not the yellow ones that you normally see. I don't know if you can really see here, but you can already tell they got a huge head. So we got the striped Raphaels, but these are also super popular. So these are the little spotted Raphaels, black with all little white spots on them. I think we got 15 of each of the Raphael cats in. Raphael cats definitely can't go in every tank because they do get a decent size, so they could pick off potentially some smaller tetras and stuff. But they are relatively peaceful catfish outside of things that are going to quite literally fit in their mouth. These guys have been super popular lately. It doesn't look like I got all the ones I ordered, unfortunately, but these are L327. Looks like we got one floater in there, unfortunately. But these are the egg spot. It'd help if I actually put them on the camera, I guess. These are egg spot bristlenose plecos. Let me see if I can try to show you guys some of these. So we'll get a shot of some of these in the tank, but basically a black ancistrus with little white speckles, similar to you know, some of the galaxy and snowball type plecos, but it's going to be something actually breedable, and it just looks a little bit different. We're back. Thought I heard someone walking in here, so these are the four-lined Pims. So they're basically a Pictus cat, but rather than the classic pattern they have the two stripes on either side of them, hence the name. Something just different. Oh, great. Now we got to listen to that phone. Okay. I know I got a Nemodorus species, but I don't... Nemodorus elongatus. There's a few Nemodorus. Common name for some of them is like a mouse catfish. So, yeah, these guys here. I can't remember the size on these ones. I'll have to double check. I want to say it's around 5 to 6 inches, but I could be totally wrong. Double check on these. But again, a catfish Nemodorus are just one you don't see every day in pet stores. So for those catfish lovers that are after something a little different, I think we're going to get into a lot of the plecos here now. So L177, this is one of the gold nuggets. And this is the yellow seam. These guys have the eggs are a little hard to see through right now. These guys have the larger spots on them. Good size. Big thing about these is they really need a good amount of vegetation in their diet. So in the store, a lot of the time, we're giving them zucchini and things like that. They just seem to do better than just your typical fish food. L262, he calls them something different on here. What does he call them? He calls them fine spotted plecos. I've always known them as stardust plecos. This is a nice pleco. It doesn't get very large. I think they get probably 5 inches max, maybe 5.5. And you're probably not going to see it on the camera, but I'm going to put photos up on the screen. But basically, you're looking at a black body, and you have these super fine little dots. And that blotching is not going to be there. That's just stress color. So basically, yeah, jet black body, little tiny, tiny white speckles. I already know what this monster is. He's in a black bag so he doesn't freak out and tear through the bag here. See if we can get him out. L25, none other than the Scarlet pleco. Can I even show this guy? So there's L24, which are the flames, which are still nice, but they're not the one. This is the one. It's just dark in here right now, I'm realizing, so it might be hard to see some of this stuff, but we're doing what we can. So you can see this guy's an absolute monster. Much better color than I was thinking. So that's kind of the major difference between the Scarlets and the Flames, which are the 2.4s. The Flames are just a little blander, basically. These guys can take a while to develop, and they're often only available at larger sizes. But yeah, just a beautiful pleco. I don't know that the stores had a Scarlet before. If they have, it's probably been a while. They at least haven't had one since I've been here. So that's definitely one for the pleco enthusiasts. They are not the cheapest pleco in the world, but if you are a true collector of plecos and you have room for a larger pleco like that, we got it here for you. Okay, we got one more box of fish, and then maybe we'll look at a couple plants, show you some leaves. I wish I could remember what I ordered one time. I don't even recognize the Latin. I don't know what that is. We'll find out. L81. Other gold nugget species here. These are the fine spot gold nuggets. So rather than having the large gold spots like the gold seams, the 177s, there's another gold nugget as well that looks relatively similar. But yeah, these ones are just gonna have the finer spots. We got both options for you guys if you have preferences. Oh, these are crazy looking. Oh, that's what this Latin must be. That's why I didn't recognize it. So the supplier had something on his list, and the common name he put for it was Freaky Banjo Cat. So I am going to attempt this Latin. Xiphias lepturus. I don't think Freaky Banjo Cat's the actual common name, but maybe we'll call him that. These guys are, well, this one anyway, I don't know if we can probably get a video of him when he's in the tank, but he's got this beige head here and a black kind of dorsal stripe, but the other one's totally dark. I'm going to look these guys up. I don't know how big they get, but clearly they're not tiny. They definitely look like a banjo cat, though. Very cool. I've never seen these guys before. Again, only two hands, doing what I can here. We'll put photos on the screen. You guys can see everything. All right, so this is the ridiculousness. Some of you guys might have seen the one we had previously, so we got two more because the other one sold immediately. So many of you, whether you like them or not, know about glowfish, and one of the most recent ones that has been getting brought into Canada, try and go on camera here, are the glow sharks. This supplier, for some reason or somehow, has gotten a few giant ones. So the last time we had like a blue glow shark that was like 7 inches. This guy is not nearly as big, but he's still pretty huge. Now, I'm not a huge fan of glowfish, but at the end of the day, they're not dyed. They breed true. And, you know, they have a place in the hobby. It's good for getting, especially newer kids in, like, especially with the glow tetras, the Prestellas, and the Danios. Just getting people kind of into it to start, and then, you know, at least it's a way to get into the hobby, and then you can get into some of the cooler stuff later. But anyways, I know some of you still like him. Giant blue glow shark, but now we got another one. And this one is a purple, which looks more pink when it's big. It's just a giant pink shark, which is kind of ridiculous, but we got two of them here. I know you want them. Come and get them. All right, we got one more bag here to go through. Almost hit myself in the head with a rubber band. Okay. What would be in two more black bags? Find out. Okay. First up here, are these the 3.7s? What are these? Oh, these are the honeycomb plecos. So they get that name from having that. I keep thinking the camera's on this side for some reason. So they get that honeycomb pattern on them. Medium-sized pleco. And then we got that's L37. And then we got, these are the worm lines. So these are L121. I really like these plecos. They just have a really unique pattern. They have this like kind of aberrant pattern and these little lines all over their face, and then they have kind of your generic banding that you see in a lot of other plecos, but those head markings just make them so unique. Medium pleco. Again, not too big. I think around 5 inches for that one. I don't know why they put these in here. Maybe they're big. Rubber bands are just flying. These are Medusas. Medusas have been kind of tricky to get lately. Haven't had them in a bit. Medusas are known for having, kind of like the chubby plecos, those giant, giant heads, but they have the bristles like a, these are monsters. They have bristles like the bristlenose plecos. And I don't know if you can, yeah, that one, monster, huge. These plecos are actually more carnivorous than some other species, which is interesting. Really unique looking pleco. It's kind of just like a jumbo bristle nose. But them having that jet black body is kind of neat. All right, what's in the final bag? We don't know. It has no label. Why? What haven't we found? Snowballs. We didn't get the snowballs. Oh, leopard cactus plecos, I bet you. Haven't had those guys in a while. I think they were... Sometimes leopard cactus are ones you can get in an array of sizes, which is not true for all plecos. So some of them you get, and they're super tiny, but then we get some that are like, you get monsters, which these aren't monsters, but I think they're a little, yeah, they're decent size. So again, getting that name from that pattern. A similar look to that 2.5, but they are different, and they get the, well, similar coloration on the fins anyway. It won't be as red, it's going to be more orange on these guys. Another cool pleco. So lots of plecos and catfish, and I know there's a lot of other people like me that love different plecos and catfish. There'll be something here for everybody, hopefully. Good mix of stuff that, you know, is breedable and relatively small. And then we also have some monsters for those that want it. Okay, lastly, I think that's it for the fish, guys. We'll open up a couple boxes here of plants, and I'll just show you a couple things anyway. Mostly I want to show you guys some of the mats, because that's what's the really big thing from this farm. This is kind of funny. So normally, you get plants from this farm. First of all, they're normally good size, which isn't a big deal when you're talking about swords and stuff, because they melt back and regrow anyway. But if they're not a good size, they're at least consistent. So this is a red melon sword. This is typically what you're getting, you know. And these will melt and they'll regrow the aquatic leaves. But for some reason, we got some little baby ones. They're this small. But honestly, with these guys, it doesn't matter. That's why I don't order mother plants, or mother swords anyway, because they just melt back and they end up having to regrow anyway. So you're just buying this giant plant that's going to more or less die off and then come back. There's no real benefit to paying for the shipping of these plants. And, you know, as long as you make your customers aware of how it works with these kind of plants, it's a good one. Nubius fraseri. Good size. Nice big long leaves on that one. Oh yeah, look at that. We always get some people asking for some bigger Anubias, so this is a good one. It's got to be 25, maybe probably like more actually, 30, 35 leaves on this. So if you want something that's going to fill a spot right away, Mother Anubias plant might be the choice for you. Occasionally we can get other species. The ever popular Crinum calistratum. I don't think I pronounced that right, but that's okay. It's early. There's no coffee inside me right now. We got little dwarf for these baby tier mats. And then this looks like it's hydrocotyl. I think there's maybe some Monte Carlo. I don't know if it was available. This is always a popular one. This looks really nice when you put it in the water and it stands up. It's the dwarf hairgrass. All right, guys. That's going to be it for this one. I've kind of made a mess here doing this myself, so I'm going to get this cleaned up. All right, Neil gets in here and wondered why it looks like a bomb went off. I don't know what's coming next, but I promise we're going to start making some more videos. Still a lot of stuff. I have a whole list of videos that I want to do for you guys. Not just unboxings, but, you know, things like, I'm like bent over here trying to stay in the camera frame. So things like, you know, just guides, tutorials, and different things. Product reviews. We want to do some like A/B testing with a few products, things like that. So there will be a lot of different stuff coming. I promise at some point, but I do not promise a timeline. Maybe sometime soon, or maybe not. We'll see. I'll try not to lie to you guys. Anyways, we'll see you on the next video. Thanks again for watching. Again, Jonathan here. Tails and Scales. Go and buy some fish.